guys, it is Jumpstart Monday time again. Y'all ready to be motivated? Are you excited about life? Listen, you got to be on fire about life. And if you're not, I hope that when you leave this space that you're excited about doing something good for yourself. So I want to encourage you, as always, like, tag, share. Even if you come back on the replay, hashtag replay. Share this with some people, and I'm hopeful that the information that you get today and every other time that I show up on your feed, that is something that is helpful to you. So today I want to talk to you about the courage to show up as yourself. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. Courage to show up as yourself. So when I thought about showing up as yourself, I thought about spy movies. Let me date myself just for a moment. There was an old series on TV called Mission Impossible, and the people involved were spies. For those that need to get a little more updated version of it, you all know the Tom Cruise thing, right? So Mission Impossible, but people would show up, they would put on these, they might put on a wig, they might put on a face that looked like somebody else, and they would infiltrate so that they could just really blend in with other people. They would get in and then they would get out. But at some point I thought to myself, if you continue to show up as somebody else and not as your authentic self, don't you get lost? Don't you just become a part of the norm, a part of the crowd? How many of you all know that you are a peculiar people? You've been called to be different. There is just one you, and the world needs that one you to show up. I think sometimes what has happened with us is that we have fallen into this thing called imposter syndrome. We show up based on the circumstance and the situation, and sometimes it's just not the authentic version of ourselves. So I say today, away with the clones, away with looking, dressing, feeling, speaking, showing up like everybody else, because there is just one you, and somebody is looking for that authentic version of you. And yes, it takes courage, because we've been so accustomed to looking, talking, and speaking like everybody else. It's kind of hard to break out of the mold, because you think, what are people going to say if I show up speaking differently? You know, the thing that's really on the inside of me. If I really disclose to them, you know what, I really am an introvert, not really an extrovert. I don't want to hang out as much as I do, because that's just really not my thing. Well, what will happen is that if you begin to just show up as yourself, people will do one of two things. They will continue to be a part of your circle, or they might be pushed out a little bit further, but that is okay, because it positions you not to be an imposter anymore. You don't have to be a spy anymore, just showing up like everybody else just so that you can fit in. No more of that. Show up as you. When you begin to think about all the technology that we have now, somebody had to come up with the iPhone, somebody had to come up with the lighting, somebody had to come up with the internet. They dared to be different. They dared to stand out. They dared to say, I have a different idea. I have a different flavor. They were courageous enough to say, you know what? I'm just going to show up as me. Are you courageous enough to just show up as you? Courageous people show up in a spirit of confidence. Courageous people show up in a spirit of conviction about who they truly are. And some of those people that we might call nerds, some of those people that we might say, oh, they just have a funny laugh, or they're really boisterous. Sometimes that is their true personality, and they have been really unafraid to show up as themselves. Some people would say, I'm unapologetically me. So when you see me coming, you know you're going to get Lisa B every single time. That's what we need to have from you. We don't need any more clones. I know I said it before, but we don't need that. We need just you. Somebody is searching for what you have, but they can't see it because the mask is on. They can't see it because we're showing up as an imposter. They are looking for you. So I need you to be courageous enough to say, you know what? Here I am, with my flaws, because we all have them. Here I am. If you have a full head of gray hair, and you've been ashamed of it, and you really love your gray hair, show up just like you. If you know you are the person that has not been volunteering to come to the front of the line, but you've been desiring to do it, volunteer to come to the front of the line, because that's authentically who you are. Show up as yourself. Be courageous enough to do it. So you might say, well, Lisa, what is courage? Courage is that mental strength to push past it, whatever your it is. The doubt, the fear, the anxiety, the pressure, the no's, the somebody pushing back, but you have to have that mental strength to push past it. Today I'm going to ask you if you will be courageous enough just to show up in all of your glory as who you truly are. So listen, I'm hopeful that you're encouraged. I hope that you will just show up as who you are, because you know what? We need you. This is your girl, Lisa B. You know it's Jumpstart Monday, and I am the Life Changer.